What if I told you that Greece is on the verge of becoming Europe's new power in the Mediterranean? For decades, Greece's story seemed frozen in time. Postcard perfect beaches, economic struggles, and lofty promises that never quite materialized. But today, that same dock could become ground zero for Europe's next economic revolution. Right now, global power players are pouring billions into a bet that Greece, yes, Greece, could become the most strategically important country in Europe. And it's not just because of its incredible ancient history, but because of where it's located on the map. A brand new massive trade route is forming across continents, and Greece is sitting right at its crucial endpoint. We're talking about controlling the flow of everything from the smartphones we use every day to the hydrogen fuel that could power the future. But what's truly interesting is that Greece has been here before. Remember the post-Olympics boom that collapsed, or the EU bailouts that came with tough rules? This time, though, the stakes are much higher. The players involved are bigger, and the tech is way more advanced. Yet, one big question still hangs in the air. If this is Greece's last great opportunity, will it rise and seize it? Or is it going to let it slip away? Before we begin this deep dive, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Freedom 24. Freedom 24 is one of the leading investment platforms in Europe. More about them in a moment. Let's zoom in on what's unfolding right now. Picture yourself as a shipping magnate in Mumbai. You have two options. A, in goods through the congested Suez, paying premium rates and risking delays, or B, route through a new high-speed corridor that dumps your cargo in Greece, where it rockets north on specialized rail lines before your competitors even clear the canal. This is IMEC, the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. Not some abstract idea on a consultant's slide deck, but a steel and concrete reality rapidly taking shape. Piraeus Port, one of Europe's busiest entry points, is already undergoing a Chinese-funded transformation, increasing capacity and efficiency. And up in northern Greece, Alexandroupoli is turning into a real energy hub, set to play a critical role in making sure the EU has a secure energy supply. Meanwhile, the IMF is now projecting that Greece could see its GDP grow by around 1.5% each year, leading to a massive 70 billion euro boost to their economy over the next few years. New industries are emerging at a pace unlike anything the Greek bureaucracy has ever seen before. But here's the tough pill to swallow. Potential doesn't last forever. Greece's greatest obstacle isn't external forces like Turkey or global economic headwinds. It's their slow-moving bureaucracy, the endless wait for permits, and government departments that seem stuck in a web of inefficiency. It's like Greece has this unique talent for taking amazing opportunities and somehow turning them into frustrating what-could-have-been stories. The world is handing Greece this once-in-a-lifetime chance, but every opportunity has an expiration date. And this isn't just about becoming Europe's warehouse, but its control room. The only difference is one stores goods and the other sets the rules. By the way, only 6% of you watching have subscribed. If you appreciate deep dive geopolitics that go beyond the headlines, hit like and subscribe. It helps us make more videos like this. Now, let's pull back the curtain on what happens when billions start flowing through Greece, because the knock-on effects are going to shock you. Let's break down what appears to be bigger than Greece just getting a few extra ships in its ports. We're talking about the country potentially becoming the Mediterranean's version of Rotterdam, a central meeting point where global trade, energy supplies, and digital networks all come together. The financial implications alone are mind-blowing. Every single ship that docks in Piraeus or Thessaloniki means millions in port fees piling up. And with the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor set to reroute a significant chunk of trade between Asia and Europe, Greece could be looking at billions over the long haul. But the real game here goes way beyond just simple buying and selling of goods. Energy is where Greece could become a real powerhouse. The country is already positioning itself as Europe's southern hub for natural gas, with existing LNG terminals like the one at Revifusa and that new floating terminal in Alexandroupoli, which officially started operations in October 2024. That Alexandroupoli terminal alone can handle up to 5.5 billion cubic meters of gas each year, supplying 9 countries across Central and Southeast Europe. Now, imagine pipelines carrying hydrogen joining this network. Clean energy flowing directly from the Middle East through Greece and right into the heart of the EU. This isn't just about making money anymore. It's about gaining serious strategic influence on the entire continent. And we can't ignore the digital revolution either. With global tensions making traditional internet routes increasingly risky, major tech companies are actively looking for safer paths for their crucial underwater internet cables. Greece, stable, firmly within the EU, and perfectly located geographically, could become the new digital superhighway connecting Europe and Asia. Then you've got the Thessaloniki rail corridor development, which is promising to create a direct, uninterrupted link from Greek ports straight into Central Europe's industrial heartlands. No more complicated detours and bottlenecks, just smooth movement of goods from ships in Greece to factories in Germany and distribution centers in Austria. Perhaps most significantly, all of this gives Greece something it's been lacking for decades: real leverage. With IMEC up and running, Greece becomes a key player, almost a rule maker. Brussels would have to pay closer attention to Greek priorities. NATO would need to consider Greek interests more carefully. When you control a vital artery for trade and energy, you don't just follow what everyone else is doing. You get to help set the agenda. This leads us to the question, if Greece's rise promises a new era for some, what dark battles might be brewing for those about to be left behind? While Greece positions itself to connect continents economically, you can connect your finances to the same wave of global growth. Freedom 24 gives you access to top infrastructure and logistics stocks that may rise with IMEC. Backed by expert analysts, its user-friendly platform removes barriers for everyday investors and offers direct access to over 15 global markets, including Nasdaq, NYSE, and the London Stock Exchange. Freedom 24 also provides tools for balanced investing, from corporate stocks to government bonds, ideal during uncertain times. Whether you're tracking shipping giants, renewable energy leaders, or public infrastructure projects, this platform aligns your portfolio with the world's biggest economic shifts. And the best part? You can explore all these opportunities without any initial deposit. Just download the app using the link in the description and see the same global trends that countries like Greece are actively moving to capitalize on. Now, while this new corridor through Greece promises major gains for some, it also signals significant losses for others. Chief among them is Turkey, a country that for years positioned itself as the gateway between East and West. But as Greece's role grows, tensions in the region have sharpened. Recent hostilities between Turkey and Israel, including Erdogan's harsh rhetoric and full trade suspension, have only added fuel to the fire. With IMEC relying on stable cooperation between Israel and its Mediterranean partners, especially Greece, these rising frictions could threaten to disrupt the project's eastern link. Think about it this way. For a long time, Turkey has held a really crucial position, acting as a main bridge between Asia and Europe. China's massive Belt and Road Initiative has been pumping billions of dollars through Istanbul, solidifying Turkey's role. This isn't just about the fees they collect from ships and customs. It's about the serious political power that comes with controlling such a vital trade route. Right now, a significant amount of goods moving between East and West goes through Turkey. If this new IMEC corridor actually manages to pull major trade routes through Greece instead, Turkey is looking at more than just a hit to their finances. They risk losing their hard-earned status as this indispensable regional power. For the Turkish leadership, who have really built their foreign policy around controlling these trade and energy paths, the implications feel huge, almost existential. So we should probably expect Ankara to push back pretty hard and on a lot of different fronts. However, they'll likely try to stir up trouble for the growing Greek-Israeli cooperation while trying to build stronger relationships with countries like Egypt and others in the region. When it comes to energy, we might see Turkey dust off some of those controversial maritime claims, like that deal with Libya, and maybe even increase pressure in the Aegean Sea. And if it's about the military, more naval patrols and airspace violations could become the new normal, as Turkey tries to remind everyone who still has a strong presence in the Eastern Mediterranean. China also finds itself in a pretty awkward spot. They poured billions into making Turkey their main hub in the Mediterranean for their Belt and Road Initiative. Now they're facing the real possibility of seeing those carefully laid plans being bypassed. The big question is whether China will quietly accept this shift or start leveraging its economic and political power to protect its interests. The stakes are high. Turkey, it's about preserving regional dominance. For China, it's about safeguarding the viability of its flagship global infrastructure strategy. But as if that weren't enough, the regional chessboard has grown even more volatile. Tensions between India and Pakistan have recently flared once again, raising concerns about regional stability. While the surface cause is rooted in long-standing disputes, some geopolitical analysts suggest this flare-up may also serve China's interest, intentionally or not. Destabilizing India's position could cast doubt on IMEC's reliability, scaring off investors and slowing down corridor construction. Because if IMEC moves forward and Greece succeeds, it would fundamentally shift the power balance in the region, and the current power holders aren't likely to accept that quietly. But with the clock ticking and rivals waiting, can Greece overcome its familiar hurdles before this once-in-a-generation opportunity slips through its fingers? Let's be brutally honest here. Greece is staring down an opportunity that could completely reshape the country, potentially turning it into a 300 billion euro economic powerhouse by 2035. And that's not just bouncing back from the debt crisis, that's a total reinvention. But here's the uncomfortable truth Greece needs to hear. Potential is just a word if you don't actually do anything with it. Greece has had its share of missed opportunities, not for lack of capability, but often because of internal obstacles. Adding to this incredible potential, the EU's new Global Gateway Plan has earmarked over 300 billion euros for strategic infrastructure, and Greece is perfectly placed to absorb a major share of it if it moves fast. However, the hurdles here are sadly familiar to anyone who's followed Greece's economic story. We're talking about a bureaucracy that often seems to operate at the pace of a hot summer afternoon. Political groups that struggle to agree on pretty much anything, let alone a unified national vision, and crucial infrastructure projects that have a habit of getting tangled up in endless delays and disagreements. Right now, Greek ports desperately need serious upgrades to handle the huge surge in trade that could be coming their way. They need to negotiate and set up free trade zones, and fast. And maybe most importantly, Greece needs a complete image makeover on the global stage, shifting from being seen as just Europe's vacation spot to becoming its serious business gateway. What makes this moment feel different, though, is this unique alignment of things working in Greece's favor. The European Union is really looking for reliable alternative trade routes, global investors are actively searching for new opportunities, and the overall geopolitical landscape is shifting in a way that could really benefit Greece. But here's the thing. These windows of opportunities don't stay open forever. If Greece hesitates, if eternal bickering or that slow-moving bureaucracy takes over, this trade corridor will find another way. Maybe through Italy, maybe through the Balkans. The world isn't going to sit around and wait for Greece to finally get its act together. You see, Greece has spent decades being seen as Europe's problem child. But now with this new IMEC corridor, it has the chance to become the continent's VIP entrance. But that demands something Greece has historically struggled with: decisive action. A united vision that everyone will buy into, and the commitment to see the massive project through the end without tripping themselves up along the way. Alright, so after everything we've broken down today, we're curious to hear what you all think. Do you believe Greece is finally going to seize this moment in history and really make the most of it? Or are we going to look back in 5 years and see another opportunity that just slipped away? And do you think Turkey and China will let IMEC succeed without a fight? Or has Greece already turned the tide? Seriously, drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to know what you think. If you found this video valuable and want more like this, then please give it a like and hit this subscribe button. It really makes a difference and helps us keep creating content like this. And a big shout out once again to Freedom24 for their support. Don't forget to visit their website via the link below and explore your investment possibilities. That's going to be it for this episode, but honestly, the conversation is just getting started. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.